back to the Eye of Jupiter podcast. I'm your host, Tom Franklin, and today we have a very, very, very special guest. It's one of my best friends. I've known him for over 20 years. I met him in a practice room in Germany. We had a mutual friend, and I was trying to start a band at the time, and he is the rhythm, the power, the majesty behind my former band, Lamera. We also started a band before I ended up leaving Germany that we never got to go on stage with because of the whole pandemic that happened. He is just one of the sweetest, nicest people I've ever met in my life. And we're going to get into an experience that he had in the forest where I also lived in Germany that he remembers as a kid. Before we get into that, a little bit of housekeeping. If you do like the channel and you find yourself coming back, do me a favor and like and subscribe to the channel. The Eye of Jupiter. You can also find me on Rumble as well as Spotify. I have a live that comes out every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, as well as every Friday we have episodes just like this one that come out 3:30 my time, which varies because of Mexico doesn't have any daylight saving time. So every Friday afternoon, you come on forward 5 o'clock, it's already up. Go ahead and check that out. So, you can also become a member for extra content. You can also go ahead if you want to give me a little bit of money on Spotify so I can update my computer, maybe get a better microphone, all those things to make the quality of your experience better. Okay, so without any further ado, please welcome to the Eye of Jupiter podcast one of my very best friends in the whole wide world, Mr. Silvio Stolzenthaler.
Hey!
Hey, buddy, we did it.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. I was just so I'm always looking for a good story, and I remember you telling me one a very long time ago. We'll get into that in a moment. So before that, please tell my listeners, my viewers, my friends in the podcast world, as well as YouTube land and everywhere else where people find this, a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm Silvio Stolzenthaler. I'm from Germany, Mannheim, and I'm 46 years old. Too old. From Lamera, yeah, and still think about some metal music, and still try to get back to drums and stuff like that. So think about rhythms and stuff like that, and that's my hobby, my how can I say that, my life,
Yeah.
And
Dude.
That's
we met like 2004, 2005, something like this.
Yeah, 2000.
When did we start?
2004 we started the band.
We started in
2003. 2003 we met the first time.
So I was 23 and you were 25, and now you're 46 and I'm 44. So how the time has passed. I'm gonna have to say this: we are still very attractive gentlemen, although we are taking guys. Guys. Oh well, yeah. Sometimes my internet's a little choppy. If it ever messes up on you, still, all you got to do is just, if we're bumped out, just
sometimes it's a little bit shaky, Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry about it. What happens is that it records on your side and it records on my side, and then it kind of syncs up over here, so we'll be good to go. But like I said, if it bumps you off, just come back on. Yeah, dude. So I think it was 2004. 2005, Max, our lead guitarist, I was the rhythm guitar singer of the band. Max, our lead guitarist, our good friend Max, he was going to go to BASF to do an internship because he studied at BASF, and he was going to the States, I think Jersey, New York area. Yeah. And before that, we were recording an album on a whole weekend. Remember, we took we rented drum mics and we did everything. And I always tell people about the experience in the practice room with the shadow figure that I saw that was a hat man. Now, what do you remember about it? What do you remember about what I seen and what my reaction was?
You are fucking scared. That's for sure. You just you looked in that moment weird and at the same time interested what's going on there. And basically that building we had I don't know. We had 3 years a practice room in there or something like that.
We shared with that band, remember?
Yeah, that building was was scary enough, those hallways and and then the stairs and stuff like that. It's always dark and yeah, it's crazy building.
Yeah, I was sitting there on the couch, if you remember right, and you were playing with that acoustic bass, like from that band that was in the room with us, whatever they were called, Hope for a Day or whatever. We call them something else, but we won't say that word.
Yeah, I know.
Just figure out which word we changed because we were a metal band and we didn't care. And I was just sitting on the couch looking. I just happened to look out the door, and like the outside hallway was dark, but the light was shining through the door. And I seen what I saw. I seen that shadow figure cross in front of the door after hearing the footsteps in the hall. Remember, there was footsteps, a door shut, and you just looked at me. Yeah, you looked at me. What did you say? You're like, what's wrong or something? I was like,
no. Something like, because in that time I think I was playing something, but maybe we had like a little break in there, and in that time, what happened? So like, what the hell was that? So like, I mean, we checked it out. There was nothing, but still, why the door closed, or why was that shadow or something like that? So it's
and that building was there for a long time. We called it the Power Tower. The Power Tower was two parts. There was the big one, that's the one we were in, was 4 floors. And then there was the little one on the right that we ended up at the end, actually. Pretty popular.
The
better one. I liked the smaller building better. Yeah, it was a little more quiet and easier to get into. But that building was there pre-World War II, or was that after World War II?
Oh, my God. I think this was a big old office building, whatever, like from the 40s, 50s, whatever. So nobody taking care of it. So there was one dude called Birsch, and he put some bands in there like for 40 years or something like that. So there was like 60 bands in that building. It was crazy.
And producers and editors and a whole everyone to do with music, and most of it was metal.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it got a little bit like hip hoppy and whatever. But we always made fun of them, and we did a lot of work. Remember, I actually took a window cutter. We got an air conditioner, and I took a glass cutter and I cut a circle out to put the air conditioning. That was another room. We had like 3 or 4 rooms in that building. Dude. It was so hot in there in the summer because you remember Uva was in the corner. Uva had the corner room, which was a cool room. Remember, they completely renovated it, and we were down the hall a little ways. We smoked them too, though. We smoked them too. We had how many gigs do you think we did? I think easily over 100. We did 10 years.
For 10 years, I think 90 at least.
Something like
Austria,
that. 90, 100.
Germany, all those festivals.
We did the Tingstätter too. Remember we did the Tingstätter? Remember we did the Tingstätter, where the Roman thing was, where we won that competition?
Oh, yeah.
Where you had the cross. Remember that? Yeah, dude. We also did Rachenbach, where we took the bus down. You didn't take the bus. You took the car. You always were. You had to get off work.
Car. Yeah.
Yeah, we all took the bus and got hammered.
I know. Yeah, we had a lot of pictures of it, So.
Do you have any pictures of that? Do you have any pictures of where we're outside the bus?
No, I just saw the pictures on, let's say on Facebook.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you can go. You guys ever want to go out and check out Lamera? Like you just type in Leamera, and just type in Lamera Metal Mannheim, Mannheim, and you'll find all our music that me and Silvio wrote together. Like, I would bring in like the riff ideas. Like it would be like, I got this thing, and then Silvio would go, all right, because when I first started, I was big into Slayer and stuff like that, remember?
I know.
Tom, no. And Silvio was a big fan of like Helmets, Typo Negative.
Typo, yeah.
Yeah, that was his big thing, is more like gothic and like very groovy. He's a very groovy drummer, very apt at like improvising. But he's very he's not a before the beat drummer, he's not on the beat drummer, he's a slightly after the beat drummer, which is always cool. It gives it a cool feel. And me and him were like the spearheads. I mean, Max is very important as well. Max also wrote a lot of music too. I mean, he wrote all of the. It's the second song on the Apex LP. I can't remember the name of it, but
good question.
Yeah, I can't remember right now, but like I would say a good 80% of the ideas, like the base bare bones ideas of Lamera, the ones where people would mosh and bump into each other with bloody lips, was you and I.
Breakdowns.
Breakdowns. Because we kind of figured each other out, and we were just like, and it's kind of heartbreaking because he's like, "When are you coming back?" And I'm like, I don't know about all that, dude. I'm kind of staying here, but we could always. I was thinking, I could just like send stuff to you too. We can go back and forth that way as well. Whenever the stuff, and we just had a myriad of memories, and this and I haven't been in contact with a lot. I've had a lot of things going on in my life, just as well as you have always, And I don't know. I started thinking about him, and then I was like, wait a minute. He told me a story years ago. Oh, it has to be 20 years ago. You told me the story. I mean, 15, 20 years ago, and it just stuck in my head. And then I've been doing this show, and it was like such a wild story. And I was like, you know what? I need to talk to him anyway. He's my fucking buddy. I haven't talked to him, off and on for a year, maybe 2 years since I've been here. I might have talked to you 4 times at the most, or at least, a little bit of conversation. And I was like, okay, I'm going to contact him to see if he would be willing to come on and tell me this story. So if you could do us a favor, maybe you can like walk us into what happened and explain.
Okay. I had a friend called Dennis, right? And we always hang out, so do something, walk around in that little town, So one day we met, his name was Stas, right? He
What was his name?
Like Stas.
Stars. Okay.
Like
stars.
Crazy. I don't know. So he was a Russian guy, and he was big time in black metal and stuff like that. And basically he asked us to get in the woods, do like a little ceremony, right? So it's just the start. So basically, we are 3 people then. So we walked.
Wait a minute. We'll go slowly at a time. So he just like one day you meet this dude and he's like, hey, I want to do a ceremony, and you were like, yeah, let's do that.
No, not really, because we both wasn't sure about that, because why we have to do this, so like the question, so
okay,
you guys good friends and stuff like that, and so let's do something weird, like I'm like, okay, so I wasn't sure, so
right, and you were young then. You had to be a teenager, right?
14, 15.
Oh yeah, young teenager. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, we said, okay, we try. We don't know what's happening or what's coming up. So basically, we just take a walk with him, So and,
what's the name of the forest again?
Yeah, Kefatila Wald.
Kefatila Wald, which is translated
it's basically
Valley of the Bugs Forest.
You live.
Valley of the Bugs Forest. It's It's the most. I think it's the most visited forest in all of Germany because of Carl Benz, because of its proximity to the city, and it's actually quite large. You could literally go from Mannheim all the way to Darmstadt and just basically maybe cross a road or two or a highway or two, and still always be in the forest. It's like the biggest forest within the central valley there in southern Germany, and it starts right there in Mannheim, and they have. There's a whole bunch of World War II stuff back there, a lot of bunkers from the German army as well as the American army. There's a lot of bomb holes. There's a bunch of craters from the holes where the dogs run around. And there's plenty of walking paths. There's animals.
Tank Street,
Yes. Oh yeah. I've been on that many times.
Tank Street, the old ones. Yeah.
That's right behind the old Benjamin Franklin barracks. Yes.
And
I spent many years in this place. So this is a very well-known part of Mannheim, but there's places in that forest that are kind of you can get in there and not see anybody for an hour or two if you really
I,
wanted
I,
to.
I would say a lot of American soldiers they spent like a couple years in the army, right?
Yes,
So, or especially in Mannheim, so they pretty know that place, or
yes,
you know,
I did.
or
I spent a
because
lot of
they're
time
doing
in that
things.
forest with the
Yeah,
military. Yes.
yeah, yeah. I remember that
So
you told me. Yeah,
yeah, dude. So he was like, "Okay, let's go do a ceremony," and you were like, "Okay, I don't know, but let's go anyway and see what's up. But we're young, and let's go find out."
yeah. So we walked up there. So get in that forest, but it's take a while to get to that. We say bunker.
Yeah, bunker. Yeah,
It
bunker.
looks more like a ruin, right? Like a ruin.
Yeah, ruin.
It's
Hmm.
old, old. And everything was like almost destroyed. Like weird place, right? And in that time we walked there was like a dead animal, like a bird or whatever. So he picked it up and said, "Oh, we need that." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Oh, sorry. For real, yeah.
Yeah.
It was just weird, a weird day. Okay, so we walked there with that animal in the hand and get to that place, right? And if you imagine, like it's old ruin was like roundish, and on the both sides was like a little room, yeah, and you
Yeah.
can go in there, right? But it was also already destroyed, so there was like it was weird, yeah. So we get in that little room, and I don't know. So he starts up to build up everything like a pentagram, So
He,
he throw on the
how
ground.
did he draw the pentagram? What did he use?
Oh, good question. I think
Like
he used
kaita, like
something.
chalk or something? Like a rock?
No, the thing is that place was full with sand. You know, so he
Okay.
just used something. Like something from the tree,
Like he
or
just like took sand in his hand and made a
yeah,
circle,
yeah,
kind of.
yeah,
Okay.
something like that. Oh, I forgot he had a candle also, a big one. Like a
Okay.
big candle.
So he had like a
Yeah,
little. He had a rucksack. He had a book bag with him with stuff in it.
maybe
Maybe.
that's I
Okay.
don't remember that because it's a couple years
It's
ago.
30 years ago. 32. Yeah.
So he told us, so guys, I set that place up right now. Put a candle in the middle, you know, so right in the middle from that pentagram. So and we have to sit behind them, like 2 or 3 meters behind them,
Was
as
he
a
in? Was he in the pentagram or outside
yeah,
of it?
yeah, inside,
He was inside the pentagram. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Wow. And you
and
were outside.
we sitting outside behind them, like 2 or 3
Okay.
meters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he called it like a medium, like a door. You know what I mean? To get
Yeah.
something through, like, or we have to stop it or whatever. You
And
know,
wait a minute. So he let me clarify. He told you that he was going to make a door.
not a door, but it sounds to me, yeah,
Ein
that
Portal.
medium
Portal.
that
Yeah.
medium has to be like a stopper, or something has to go through. You know,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like like
Yeah.
like like kind of a door. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we both sit like 1 meter, away.
Uh-huh.
So 2 meters behind him.
So 1 meter apart, 2 meters behind him.
Yeah,
Okay. Yes.
yeah. So and basically, he starts with fucking Latin.
Latin.
He speaks
Hmm.
Latin, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't understand any word. I don't know what he's doing. To put the candle on, and he take that dead bird, and still was some blood in it. So basically he's going around that pentagram with that animal, and
Yeah.
get some blood around it. I don't know. I have no experience with that, or I can
Right. Of
explain,
course. Yes.
you know. So basically, he just brought it away, and was sitting in that pentagram and still talking to somebody, and
Wait a minute. He was having a conversation, or he was just saying words.
I think he's just saying words,
Okay.
or like how do you call it, beten, to
Like
say some
Baden is like
preach,
like praying words, like
praying something,
yeah. Baden is to
and
pray.
this on Latin,
Yeah.
and we have no clue what is he doing, So
Hmm.
so in that moment, it's getting weirder and weirder, and he was louder and louder, and like, and that candle and everything is dark in that little room, and I thought that's funny. So my buddy too, right? So basically,
Yes.
something ringing. um, so what can I say? We both laugh in that time,
Yes.
and he was upset. I mean, absolutely upset. He was screaming at us, guys, take this serious. You don't know what I'm doing right now over here. Just be quiet and be like a medium. I'm like, okay. So we just went out there and said, okay, now you have to walk away a little bit, We both pissed off too, so that situation right now.
Yeah.
And basically, we're standing right on the other side from that ruin, right? This was like
You walked out. You walked outside of this
to the other
building
side.
thing to
Yeah,
the
to
other
the
side
other
of it.
side. And there was just like that same room, but it was totally crashed and everything was broken. So it was weird. So we stand on a couple stones, and then there was just like forest. You just can see forest, And we
What time of year
talked.
was this? What time of year was this?
Uh, Let me think.
Spring,
This was
fall,
nine nine. Oh, this was like, I think, springtime.
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 Okay.
Springtime, and I think it was 92 or 93 or something like that. Yeah,
Okay. That makes
that's
sense. I would be
yeah,
12. You would be 14. That. There you
yeah,
go,
yeah,
man.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It matches right up.
yeah. And we both had like a talk, like laughing each other, and like, what the hell is he doing, is a weirdo, and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
stupid talk, So basically, what I remember everything getting quiet in that time. I'm like, we both staying each other, like, and looked, and there was something.
So you're
I,
saying that the whole forest got
that
quiet.
that that part. I mean, you can't hear any bird or something like that. Everything was quiet in that time.
Wow.
So I'm like, and we looked like up, to the trees, and still smoked one. I'm like, okay. And there was, how can I say that? Uh, Everything was quiet. No birds. No. From the three letters, nothing. No noises. Stuff like that. And something was like crackling, and like in the behind somewhere, like, what the fuck is that, So we looked up there, and it was a weird noise, like, came up, and we couldn't see it basically, right? So, and it just took like 4 minutes or something like that. It was a long time basically, right?
Uh huh.
And my buddy said, what the hell is this? I said, I don't know. I just looked at him, and I'm like, are we stupid
So
or
it sounded
something?
like. Did it sound like something was walking around you, or
Yeah,
could you maybe?
something. But yes, I would say on the trees, but you can't say it really. You know what I mean? Yeah, I
You
can
can't
say
see
it
it. Oh,
looks.
okay.
Yeah, the thing is, I can say it looks like predator.
Oh, you can't
That
describe it. Okay.
but it speechless. I'm like, what
Oh,
the, you
wow.
know, and it was how can I say, the mute, the mute in that time was so weird. and we both were scared, about that.
Oh, the mood. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Stimmung.
it's getting already a little bit dark, yeah, but you still can see everything,
Oh,
in that time.
right.
And we said, okay, now we have to walk somewhere else, right? So we get from that area away because we both were scared. It's the first time I was scared
Of
about something,
course,
in
dude.
the forest. So we get back to that guy, and he said, "So hey, everything is done. You guys ruined all all that my ceremony, right?" I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
So, but we asked him, so what is he doing, and to who he prayed, or so what
Right.
was the reason to
Right.
get there and do this, this pentagram and stuff like that. And he said this was the first whore to Satan. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? That
The first Gebete.
um, the
The
first
erste Gebeten.
prostitute of Satan. If you know what I mean.
No, I
How can I
don't.
say that? Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there's something written down about that. I know that, but
Did he have a book
still.
with him or anything?
Hmm?
Did he have
A
a book
book?
with him?
Oh, uh, I'm not sure if
You don't
if he
remember?
had a
Okay.
book or something. Maybe he had a book. Maybe I'm not really sure about that. But
That's right. It's so
it it
strange.
it's it, it's really strange because what was it basically in that forest, right? And
Yeah.
on the same situation, what is he doing? Like he what you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
uh, it's weird, man. You know.
And then like you just never seen this guy again.
A couple times later, yes, but I didn't ask him about that situation. But he saw nothing. He just did something, right?
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah, that's wild, man. Because I remember you telling me
both.
that. I remember you telling me you heard something, that something was coming, and it
Mm-hmm.
freaked you out. And I was just like, wow. Because I've
Yeah.
heard stories of this before. I heard a story. There was a guy that my father knew that he grew up with. His name was Bill Drenningston.
Okay.
Bill Drenningston. And
Okay.
I don't know if he's still alive, and I don't want to put his name in it, but I think that was his name. Might have been another guy, but I think that's what it was. And he was. I remember going. It was my dad, me, and my dad's friend.
Yep.
We went to this dude's house, and he was like all sketched out, like he was all like drugged out. And it was the first time I really got scared in my life. And he was talking about where he was in like this cult kind of thing, where they would go into the woods and do kind of similar stuff that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one thing in particular that he freaked me out. So there was this guy, right, who, or something like that. He was. I don't think he was in the cult, but there was a cult. So he was like walking down the road with his friend, and the guy like said, "You guys need a ride?" And he goes, "Yeah." And so they put him. So they got in the van, and then they stopped in the woods another place and said, "Come with me." And they like followed him into the forest, and they started doing this ritual with other people there. And this is 1987, 88, so I'm 7, 8 years old. I'm here, maybe a little later, 89, 98, 10 years old. And he talked about the guy started like, so the guy was saying that he felt the power of God come into him, the guy that my dad was talking to. And and that he reached down and there was snow on the ground and he put the snow on his face and he couldn't feel it. And the guy who was doing the ceremony said, "Okay, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here."
Mm-hmm.
And then they got back in the van and started driving back to wherever town they were going or whatever. And the guy said that the guy was driving was starting to like lose his shit. And like his glasses started fogging up and all this. And like, I was scared. And then like,
What
my dad's like,
the?
"Okay,
Okay.
all right, let's get up out of here." And then my dad
Yeah.
gets in the car with his best friend and I'm in the back and he goes, "Man, that guy's on some serious shit, ain't he?" What's wrong with this guy? But we like laugh at it, but I still think a lot of these rituals, I think people do them all the time, and I don't know what that says. particularly, but what it says to me is that if people are able to, because you are not exactly a Christian, you're not exactly, you're like somewhere's in the middle. I know you pretty well. You're like, yeah, fine, that's your thing, and that's your thing. I'm here, I'm me, I'm happy, I'm in life, I'm enjoying my life. But what it says to me is that if people can summon evil or summon something like that, then there must be something good as well. You know what I mean? There's no dark without light. There's no yin without the yang. So like maybe these maybe religions and something actually have something to say about that. And that's
right. Yeah. The
say it
bad
again?
and you got always
the duality.
Yeah.
There's always two sides. Now I've never asked you this question. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. Do you know of any like German folklore that would be very interesting for my audience? Like anything that like Hexen, is there like bekannten Hexen, like famous witches, or Odenwald, or something like that would be, or like if you heard any like tales from the region that are just very interesting?
Basically, the Black Forest, right?
Yeah, Schwarzwald. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Black Forest is known for like demon and witches and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's for real. All those old stories and old history, like kind of history, like
Gesichter. Stories and Gesichter. Yeah,
they're celebrating stuff like that. It's a culture thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, because you can go to what's the name of that place in what's it called? It's not Hockenheim, but it's what's the amusement park out there? The one with the G-Force, one with the G-Force roller coaster. Holiday Park.
Yeah.
In the old days, Rheinland-Pfalz, which is a state of Germany that borders France.
I think the place calls
Haslo.
Yeah.
Haslo, right? That's what it's called. Haslo. I knew I'd get there. It's near Hockenheim, isn't it?
No.
No, Hockenheim is on the other side of the river.
Hockenheim is that Formula One place.
Where the Formula One is, that's right. I'm using a lot of my geography there. Yeah. But you can actually go to that amusement park, and at least in the old days, now it's not there no more. But I remember in the old days, like back 10, 15 years ago, you could go to like a little boat ride, and they will always have the mushrooms and the witches, and they also have that castle ride that you go in that shows you all the German folklore. And there's a lot. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna eventually start interviewing people from Germany in German, and get into some of that because there's so much history there. There's supposedly a magical mountain there in the Alps, that you can go up, and your watch doesn't work, compasses don't work, huh?
Austria.
Oh, it's in Austria. Do you remember what? Yeah.
It's
when I met you. Crazy place. There's a lot there, but the Germany is such an industrial powerhouse. You guys just don't understand. Welcome to Mexico. Someone's out there selling something. This time of year, this time of day is when people start selling. The guy just came out with his little whistle. That's the guy who comes and sharpens your tools. There's people always selling mangoes. I think that's mangoes.
Well, it's selling excellent.
They sell everything. So when I met Silvio, I spoke no German, and he spoke no English, right, dude?
No, not even one word. No.
Not even me either. I spoke very little to none. And you were trying to tell me
the first time was terrible. Language-wise, you know what I mean? It's like you had your friend Chris, remember?
Yes.
Chris and you both Slayer. I'm like, okay, I buy helmet.
Completely different thing.
Oh my god. Yeah. But still, it was a good time, man. Yeah. All the other guys,
we had so much fun.
Steve. You remember Steve? Of course, Inertia.
One Take Steve, Inertia. I used to be in their band too, Inertia. For
One Take Steve, yeah.
He's a monster, dude. The dude is a monster.
I know.
On the guitar.
if you see his guitar collection, It's crazy, man. You know.
He's one of those kind of guys. He's like the dude. What is his name? The dude from what is the name of the band? He used to go to Brazil. The one we took the practice room over. He had the ponytail all the time. The last practice room. I can't think of his name, but that dude has like 300 guitars. He has like a 3-bedroom apartment.
Sebastian, his name.
Sebastian. Yeah. And he has maybe 800. I would say he has.
800
he has like
guitars?
maybe $25,000 to $30,000 in guitars that just sit in his house.
Crazy.
Like metal is big in Germany, man. Metal is big. It's huge. I mean, like all the bands we opened for. No, I know we opened for Crowbar and Inertia. That was crazy. I got to open up for Crowbar, but we went after Lamera. We went after Maroon. Remember Maroon? Not Maroon 5. Maroon, dude. Where they were from? They were from Sachsenhausen. Is that right?
I mean, we play also for after Emil Bulls. Remember?
We played before Emil Bulls. We played before.
No, most of the time we play after them because I don't know why they're bigger than us. You know.
Yeah, they were huge.
I know they're huge, but I think we had like 2 gigs, and we play after them. I'm like, this was crazy. I mean, I felt like really good, you know, because they watched us.
At Rockenbach, we played with the former dudes from VP1. They had the band where they wore the makeup and the raccoon tails and all that crazy shit.
Yeah.
Which we never understood. Then we went up and just murdered that whole place. That was crazy. Then Emo Bulls went after us, and they are clearly a little step above what we could do. They just had more of their music was a little more easily to get into. We were like a lot of breakneck and moving around. But I remember we did that, and we also opened for another big band. I can't remember. They didn't want to. We were at Heidelberg at the Halle Nummer 2.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Whatever the name of that band was, Ectomorph.
Ectomorph.
It was Ectomorph, and they were like, we don't want to be in the backstage. We're going to go get a hotel. So the guy that we knew that ran the show, he's like, I got to go pay for these motherfuckers to go because they don't want to stay in the back room. And that's the night where I got stoned and drunk and fell down. Remember that?
Yeah, I know.
You laughed so hard at me because we were sitting there talking and I was leaning on the wall, right? I had a couple shots of Jägermeister, 2 hits of some weed, and then we're just talking shit. He's like, we always did that. It was like 4 of us talking. And then we moved for some particular reason. And I forgot that we moved. And I go to lean back and I fell on the steps.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And you made fun of me?
Like, you hurt something, right?
Yeah, I hurt my ribs. I think I cracked my ribs.
Yeah. Still, right?
Yeah. No, they're good now. And I had to go surfing like 2 weeks later. And I was out there surfing with the cracked ribs. But I went. And I remember you making fun of me. You're really good at making fun of me. It always made me laugh. And then how did I do it on the floor, though? I was like, I couldn't talk because I knocked all the wind out of me. And you were like, You're like, are you're real serious? You're okay? You're okay, Tom? And they got me up off the ground, set me on the couch. And I'm like, oh, my ribs. And then, 20 minutes passed. And he was like, Tom, it's just really funny.
Oh my god.
There's been so many times on stage I'll be playing and we make mistakes from time to time, right? And I made mistakes too. We've all made mistakes, but there's one time in particular, I think it was called Metal Grillin'. Remember that one? In the mud? Metal Grillin'?
Oh yeah.
And there was this song. I don't know what happened. I don't remember the song or anything. I just remember playing this song. There's also one time with Mate, which was hilarious. But I'm playing this song.
Played sometimes on stage.
Yeah,
you remember?
I looked back at you, and you were like, it was a part where it was supposed to be quiet or something. I don't remember. And I looked back at you, and I'm not playing, and I look at you, and you were just like, you stopped drumming and went, and you hit the cymbals, and then Max started again. It was so much fun. We had
sometimes
so much
it was
fun.
just like practice live. You know what I mean?
Because we used to practice a lot, dude. We would practice what?
Oh, yeah.
2-3 times
at
a
least,
week. Easily.
2-3 times.
3 or 4 hours. 3-4 hours sometimes. Yeah, we took it very seriously. It was like we had a point there where we were going out 3 weekends out of a month.
Yeah.
There was a point there where, and we never got paid. I think we got paid at the first gig like 300 euros at the time, 350 euros. It was in, I think it was Hofheim, up near Worms.
Yeah.
At that gymnasium thing. Remember the guy had that belt on, that big fat guy with the belt with the lights on it that said hello. Oh man, so many funny memories, dude.
People out there, right? Crazy time, man. Crazy time.
Oh yeah, dude. That was the same place where it was our first gig, and I went down to go to the bathroom because I pee a lot when I get nervous, right? Because it's just my first time, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm in there chilling, you know, in the bathroom, and then I just hear someone come in and just starts fucking dropping bombs in the toilet next to me, all this shit and stinking. And I just said in English, God damn. And I wash my hands, I come upstairs, and maybe 20 minutes later, I see Max, our lead guitarist, and also one of my best buddies. Right? And he looks at me, he goes, hey, Tom. I go, what? He goes, God damn. And I go, whoa, that was you? He goes, that's me. What about the time we went to Austria? Remember that when he was in the room with Mate? He was so nervous. No. We ate some food and it like hit his stomach wrong.
Yeah, he had some problems with his stomach. Yeah, whatever. So we go and we rent. This is the first time we like stay overnight anywhere. Like normally we would go and we'd come back at 2, 3, 4 in the morning always, and it'd be like a Sunday. We'd sleep in and then spend the rest of the day with our ladies or whatever. So we go to this gig. It was in Austria. We were at the end. We played after the one I mentioned earlier. I can't think of the name of it right now. Maroon. And that was cool because we had the Mesa Boogie full stacks, and I had my Angle Powerball, and Max had his I can't remember the name of his amp that he had. Framus, he had the Framus. That was a good amp too, if you said it right. But you know, we always made fun of his sound, but together it was great. I know.
His sound alone was very, and mine was, but together it was a great sound together.
Yeah.
But it was good for leads. He was very good at setting up lead sound. So it's being a rhythm guitarist and me and you being all power all the time. We made fun of his sound. Poor buddy. Remember Christo got a picture of Bert and Ernie and like stuck it on his amp because it sounded like Bert and Ernie going.
Yeah.
So we're there. And that's when not Emo Bulls, I keep saying Emo Bulls, but Maroon, like the singer and the guitarist, I think it was, well, we were jamming, we were playing, I think, Battle Authority, something that just punches. And I look over, and they're just looking at us like, oh my God, like, and I'm like in the middle playing this like crazy triplet part, and I'm just like, oh, don't look. And the sound was, I think, the best sound we ever had, right?
Yeah.
It's up there. It was up there. And remember, your bass drum kept moving away from you. You had to go down and like grab it, and like in between like every other song, you'd have to pull it back and like re-strap down your bass pedals and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Tom, I'd be like, okay, the next song, and you'd be like, Tom, and I'd be like, what? And you'd be like, I gotta fix the drums. I could just talk a little bit, and I would always speak English. Even though I spoke German, I would never speak German. And
the thing is, basically, they call me hard hitter. You know what I mean? Hard hitter is like you put a lot of power in there. So even in the fucking double bass, right? So everything was moving always. I'm like, God. So there was some guys. Remember, we had that how that calls Christmas bash or in Ludwigshafen.
Yes.
So we played with old and with Sidecore.
Is that the one where we rented the room? Das Haus, I think it was called. Is that the one where we rented Das Haus?
Yeah, Das Haus. Das Haus.
Yeah. That was a cool room too. Yeah, to rent it, but yeah, it was a cool room.
And they triggered the whole drum kit. And I never realized that because I was hitting so hard. So even the tone came like twice. So the guys told me, if I play double bass, like slow 16s or normal 16s, sounds like 32s. I'm like, what the hell?
Sound like a machine gun back there?
Yeah. Crazy. But can I say? Yeah.
Yeah. So we were at this gig, right? And then so we got two separate rooms. So me and Mate were the victims in this. All right. So Mate was in the room with Max, who was shitting himself crazy, right? And he's like, I can't even go in my room. And me and Silvio are just dying laughing. So we get done, it's like 2 a.m. or something like that. We're the last band. I think we started at midnight.
We had like a couple beers. Yeah.
We had a couple beers, we had
Yeah.
some food, and so we're about to go to the hotel or whatever, that room that we got. And you go, hey Tom, I hate to tell you, but I'm a snorer. And I was like, why didn't you fucking tell me earlier? I would have gone with Max to shitter, and I would have stuck something in my nose or something. This dude, we both were like a king size bed, and he's a one side snoring, and I'm on the other side trying to sleep. It was a hell of a time. Is that the same gig where I drove back across the border without the vignette, without the sticker, and
I
all
know.
the money
I
all the money that we made?
Right?
I thought it was going to take us in the border the same way we came in, because we came in on the back road. Remember?
Yeah, I know. Oh man,
that was wild. We had so much fun doing that stuff.
We had $120 for our gig, and we spent all that money on the police. Oh my god!
I think I ended up saying like, okay, guys, this one's on me. I'll pay for the gas, because I think we split gas, whatever. I was like, I'll pay for the gas, and then that way you guys get your money back on that, because I made the mistake. But that's what the navigation took us. You didn't have Google Maps back then. We had like a TomTom navigation, and it was like, yeah, just go down this road. And Mate, our bass player, Mate's like, Tom, you don't want to go down this road. And then we crossed the border, like pull over, and we paid on the spot. Like the money, like we got the money literally an hour beforehand in our hand, like in cash. And then I just took the money out of the wallet, because I had it on me, and just gave it to the police, the Austrian police. Ridiculous.
Oh,
always ridiculous. Yeah, dude, we were so dumb. I remember one time we were at the Sibina, which was basically like home base for us, right?
Yeah.
And it was I can't remember that. I think it was a certain song, one of our older songs, and Mate, it was a bass solo part, and he just started going, and he looked at me like, I don't remember. And Silvio, I looked at Silvio, Silvio goes, I got this. And they just started playing that part. So
I remember.
fun, dude.
I remember Mate was so stoned a couple times, and he came late on stage. I'm like, what the? You know what I mean? So we
were
all
about to get right,
already, and he came.
We were on the stage
later. I'm like,
we're tuning. We're tuning. You're like, moving your final, moving your cymbal a little bit, getting your snare, getting comfortable, getting your seat set, and we're getting ready to go. And me and Max, and you look around like, where the hell's Mate? And he's in the back. I remember him in the back talking to Marco. Marco, I love Marco. Yeah. And they're both from Croatia. They're Croatian dudes, and he was also did a vocal appearance on one of our albums. And so I just see Mate in the back going, like laughing, like ha ha ha, and then I yelled from the microphone, "It's like, can someone please tell my bass player to get the fuck up here on stage?" Remember the time that band Boiling Blood? We were up. Remember, I didn't know that for years, but like in the Sibina at the top, up above the bar.
Yeah.
There was like a back room, and there was like some singer down there doing like that with like a wireless mic.
Heavy metal.
And me and you were just like, ugh. And I was like, I don't know what the hell that guy's doing, but I don't like it. And next to me, and then Max was like, Tom, that's the guitarist from the band. I'm like, oh, it's actually pretty good,
You have to say something.
Yeah, dude. You have to. Do you know how many times we put our foot in our mouth? You've done it too.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, there used to be these two girls that always come to our gigs.
Yeah.
Remember the two girls that always came to our gigs?
Oh, the big ones?
The big ones. Very sweet girls. And you were outside, and she had like a boyfriend, and then like they were having fights and all that, and you said, "Was kein Popo match?"
Yeah, something like that.
Which is like, no, wait a minute, you guys are not going to have like a wrestling match, but with the butts, like a butt wrestling match tonight. And then Max was crying, laughing, because you would always say the dumbest shit. I loved your story. Always loved your stories of you getting hammered.
Yeah,
you getting like that one time you fell asleep in the car and you were like wrapped up in a towel or something, and the police were like looking in the window, and you're like, you just always made me laugh, dude. I had so much fun. Always look forward to seeing you. And then it always, like when you had to go to that job and then like I had to get a different drummer, I always didn't like it, but I just wanted to make sure the band continued. But everyone, life catches up,
Mm.
And then I was in, yeah, go ahead, Sonny. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, it was hard for me too. So if I listen to you guys in that time, what is he doing, right? The new drummer, and he played totally different, like normal 4/4 beats. I'm like, yeah,
He
okay,
was actually pretty good, dude. I'm not going to give it. He was
yeah,
very
yeah,
good at certain things, different than you.
yeah,
Everyone's
yeah,
different, but he
yeah.
was good. We interviewed
But
we
the
interviewed
guy
like five
itself,
drummers.
yeah, the guy himself. I mean, he called me up and said, you know what, I need the money for, for drum kit, and do you stole my cymbals and stuff like that? I'm like, what the hell? I'm in Bavaria, so how can I stole
Right.
your cymbals, right? Or
Yeah,
steal
yeah,
your
yeah. There was always some weirdness
it
going on.
was a weird guy, so let's say
Yeah, there
that.
was always something like that. And then we had that dude who was an incredible guitarist, but just smoked his brain into
Oh,
infinity.
what's his
I don't
name?
have to
Pascal.
mention his name. He was Pascal,
Pascal.
yeah.
Yeah,
An
yeah.
incredible guitarist. I mean, like 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 what I've met, like personally seen in front of me, guitarists play something. Like Steve is the master of rhythm. One take Steve,
Hmm.
rhythm machine. He can play leads too. Don't get me wrong. Max is very good at leads. Max is a wonderful lead guitar player. Very sweetheart. Very good feeling and touch. Very good. Like Max made, like me and you may have been the meat and potatoes, but Max was like, you got the candle
Put
here.
the
You're
spice
having
on.
dinner. Yeah, he put the spice on it. It was it
Mm,
made Lamera what it was or what it is. And
yeah,
but this guy was incredible, dude. I was seeing him play. And I go,
I,
how in the world do you do
he
it?
had
Because
he had
every
he had
day,
some great idea.
all day,
Mm,
it
mm,
just played all day long. So it just ended up being too much for me. And then without you, like for me, a big part of the band, like the heart, was just I didn't have it in me anymore without you being in it. You know what I mean? And
mm,
we kept, because you were working in another part, you had your job move. So, and then
mm,
I was in inertia for a long time, and I
yeah.
had my issues with them, and it was kind of mutual. I did some bad things, but my feelings are different.
Hmm.
And it was our final gig, and you were going to come see us, but it was one of those kind
Yeah.
of where you pull the names out of the
No,
hat,
just
and you
yeah,
and you just missed us. We just got off
yeah.
stage, and you were like, "Oh, I missed you," and they were upset at me for being funny because I was being funny in the moment. And then I just started talking to you, and I was just like, "Yeah, I forgot how fucking cool he was. I need to hang out with Syl." And it's like, and I just,
Mm,
hey, dude, I'm thinking about quitting them, and I want to start with you again. And
mm,
are you down? Would you be willing to? And he was like, "Let's do Lamera again." And then Max couldn't because he was in his band that no longer
yeah.
exists. But we actually went to a practice room and started doing the music again that we wrote. And man, how much did we forget? Because it was like 3 year period we didn't even play.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah. Crazy. Now
Good
Max
times,
is
man.
it too, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah, but he'll play
yeah.
again. He'll be doing something again. You know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's. I mean, Max is what it was like 2 years. You were the oldest, 2 years. It was me in the middle, and then it was Max, and then we went through like three basses. At the end, we had Rob. Rob was great. Rob was a great bassist, cool guy.
He
Um,
was a good guy.
uh,
And
yeah, he's
bass
a good
player.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a good bass player too. And
Yeah.
I remember he started writing music with us when you weren't there, and I was like, I can't even follow that. He's fantastic. But like the core Lamera for me would always be me, you, Max, and Mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was just we used to wear the sunglasses where it was just a square window. There's no part for the nose. Dudes, I
Oh
want
my
to thank you so much for coming on today, dude. I want to thank you so much. This is good, great catching up, and I'm serious. Like, let's keep in touch, and I would love to hear if you and Sven, who's
yeah. Yeah.
the band that we were trying to get off the ground, Gemini, which I still have a T-shirt here actually.
Yeah, I
It's
still
all
got
nice.
it here.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, and we got those songs somewhere. Maybe you can like send them to me. That way I can listen to them, and then I can start.
I think Sven told me the last time he got all the songs and all.
I'm
I
sure he
think all
does, man.
the videos, right? You sent like trying and what that part and that part, and
Yeah,
also songs. So basically, Now we had everything basically.
I spent so much money on just like different because I wanted to change
Yeah.
because you know we were young and angry, you know, like
Yeah.
the government and the power, and that's all my music was like. You know,
Yeah.
all the lyrics I wrote was like stand up for yourself and fight the enemy and the machine and all that stuff, you know, and people
Yeah.
really dug it. Then we're in our like late 30s and I'm like, yeah, man, I just want a pizza and like relax a little bit.
Yeah.
And I started this new thing, and I knew Silvio was perfect for it because he, you know, being into Typo and Helmet and all the other music, you know, like the new metal era, and then I was into, which I still love, is like, you know, like this psychedelic doom metal, and I was like, let's take those and put those together, dude. And you were like, okay. And then at the beginning, you were a little like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
But then when it started finding what it is, because you know how it is, you know, you have ideas and feelings and your own way of
needs to be
playing.
built up, right? From
It has to come together.
you know,
Yeah, that's always the best part.
Yeah.
The best part is that combination of two, right? And the best feeling in the world is when you're playing the song, you're not really concentrating on, you know, there's gigs where you have bad days. You know, there's been times where, like in the evening, I can see myself in the mirror and go, oh God, and didn't fuck up right away. You know,
Oh, man.
didn't have the mirror right there. I look over and
Yeah.
go, oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
best times for me were always like backstage before a gig.
Yeah.
There was always a lot of fun. You know, having a couple beers
after the
talking
gig
shit and all that.
was perfect,
The one time we were at the, yeah, those are good too. But remember that time we went to the one? It was like 7 hours away, and we stood in front of like 5 people. And but we were getting drunk. That's when Christo was in the band, and we were drinking a lot, and we all had like diarrhea. And then, and there was like a hill behind us with grass on it. So we like kind of went up the hill and go on the other side because we were all like, for some reason we all had like diarrhea, all of us, and we were shitting and wiping our butt, and then there's like paper out there, and the next morning you wake up, you can see all this like toilet paper floating in the wind.
Oh yeah, I know. This was the yeah.
Oh man,
I think
all right.
It was like Thüringen or something. Thüringen, Sachsen, somewhere in the east side.
Yeah, Thüringen.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah,
like
it was on eastern Germany, which you're actually from. You guys actually crossed you and your mother and your family crossed the border into western Germany before it was like allowed.
84
snuck in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy times. So thank you so much, dude, for coming on. I really appreciate it. I owe you one. I don't know how I'm going to help you out. I don't know. Maybe I can find you a guitarist over there that's worth having.
I mean, the first time we're looking for this room and get all the shit together, you know, like you know, and find somebody, you know, they have to, you know, Sven, he wanted, and you, so get the equipment, get the room, and all the other stuff. I think is coming step by step, you know. That's the plan.
Okay, man. So, thanks so much. Yeah, dude, awesome. I'm going to bump you into the green room, stay there, and we'll chat a little bit, okay? I'm going to bump you into the green room. I got my little outro, and then, thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right.
So that was one of my best friends from Germany. You get to hear, he speaks English pretty well. Like I said, when we first met, I spoke no German, he spoke no English. I started learning German, and then I can talk to him a little bit, and then he went and worked for the American military for a while, and then like after 2 years, he was like fluent, and he was like awesome. I was like, who are you now? And he's always been a wonderful guy, and I wanted you guys to, you know, meet a little bit of, because I always say I lived in Germany for 20 years, and now you get to meet somebody, one of my friends from there. Once again, if you keep finding yourself coming back to the Eye of Jupiter podcast, I really appreciate that. First of all, each and every one of you, all my subs, all my members, everyone who comes every week to come and enjoy and share in this thing, whatever this is. It's not just me. I'm just the purveyor of it. If you do like and you keep coming back and you have a subject, go ahead and do that for me. It's a little bit of work on your behalf, you know, just a little click. And for me, it helps me out immensely. I appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, we are the Eye. We are aware. Love you all. Good night.